Let's talk about governors. The ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu has demanded the resignation of Governor RN Ravi. Why? Because it's been 3 months and the governor is yet to forward the NEET Bill to the president for his assent. But issues between the governor and state governments aren't exactly new. In fact, several political parties, including the DMK, have in the past demanded that the post of governor be abolished. What are their arguments? What role does the governor play in today's democracy? When did the post come about? And is it time to scrap the post of governor for good? Let me explain. But before I dive into that, a quick reminder to support our journalism. You can do so by becoming a member of the News Minute community by clicking on the link in the description below. Also, to catch every episode of Let Me Explain, which comes out every week, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's first go into DMK's issue with the present governor. So to quickly recap, the bill seeking to exempt Tamil Nadu students from writing the NEET medical entrance exam was passed in the assembly in September last year. The bill needs the president's nod before it can become a law, but it's still sitting with the governor. Now, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin did meet with Governor Ravi in November last year, asking him to forward the bill to the president, but there's been no movement. Fed up with the governor's delay, the DMK says it's an insult to the sovereignty of the Tamil Nadu Assembly and to cooperative federalism, and has called for the governor's resignation. So is the governor's delay unconstitutional? Well, not really. Experts I spoke to said the governor can use his discretion to withhold sending the bill to the president, and the constitution has no fixed time limits for the governor to give his nod or to forward the bill to the president. So the delay isn't really unconstitutional. And this is something that the DMK has raised in Parliament in December, seeking constitutional amendments to fix time limits for the governor.
I lay on the table the special mention regarding fixing of time limits for the governors to act on the bills passed by the state legislature, and they cannot sit over the bills indefinitely, especially NEET Bill. Our governor is delaying it indefinitely. Thank you.
What's more, the governor can send the bill back to the House for reconsideration. But if the bill is passed once again by the Assembly without any amendments, the governor cannot withhold his assent or withhold sending the bill to the president. Now, there have been occasions when the Supreme Court has pulled up governors over extraordinary delays. Take the case of AG Perarivalan, a convict in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, who went to court over the delay. It was in September 2018 that the Tamil Nadu government passed a resolution for the release of all 7 convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi case. But the then governor sat on it for over 2 years until the Supreme Court stepped in and gave him a deadline of January 2021. Of course, the governor's decision was to pass it on to the president, and the matter is still pending before him. Which brings me to why political parties like the DMK have demanded that the post of governor be abolished. Many have questioned why a bill or a resolution passed by a democratically elected government should be superseded by a nominated figure. One of the biggest issues with the post of governor is that they aren't elected by anybody. The governor is nominated by the President of India on the advice of the union government. And the fact is that very often those nominated belong to the ruling party at the centre, which is why critics, especially in opposition-ruled states like former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, for example, have labelled governors spies or agents of the union government. India's history is filled with instances of the governor's office being misused by the union government, whether led by the Congress or the BJP. The governor's office has been misused at the time of forming governments, whether it was in 1952 when RAJIV was invited to form the Congress government in Madras state despite not being an MLA, to more recently in 2018 when B.S. Yediyurappa of the BJP was asked to form the Karnataka government despite not having a majority, even while the Congress and JDS had the numbers. Let's not forget the multiple instances of governors exceeding their briefs to sack democratically elected governments, whether it was Kerala's first left government under EMS Namboodiripad in 1959 to more recently in 2016 in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh, where presence rule was imposed. In union territories like Puducherry, former Lieutenant Governor Kiran Bedi emerged as a parallel power centre, interfering in the day-to-day activities of the government and overriding decisions of the Council of Ministers. Those against have called the governor's post a part of our colonial hangover. It was during the British Raj that the post of governor was created to keep a tab on democratic governments in the provinces. But the post was retained even after independence. Sitaram Yechury of the CPIM, who has also asked for its abolition, questioned why there should be such a post in independent India where all rights and responsibilities are clearly defined between the union government and state. So can we do without the post? Many have pointed out that governors largely play a ceremonial role, whether it is swearing in chief ministers or giving the governor's address to the assembly. These can be carried out by others, such as the Chief Justice of the High Court or the Speaker of the House. So after 75 years of independence, the only question that needs to be asked is, does India still need a puppet whose strings are being pulled in New Delhi? What do you think? Should the governor's post be abolished, or should there be more transparency in nominating the governor? Or is the present system working out just fine? Tell us in the comments. Also, if you've liked this video, don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends.